Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it, and we water the grass here.
Tell us what it was like being at the dunk last night.
That was the most chaotic environment I've ever been in my life.
Friar Town is Title Town tonight.
Here's Pip, guarded by Gillespie. Steps back, spins, fires. Woo! Pip gets.
Who run shit like me? Top 5 basically. I still play for keeps. Ain't no fantasy. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divine Providence. This is Season 2, Episode 21. The Friars will take on Butler in the Big East Tournament on Wednesday. I think I will be there. Mac will be there. So that's pretty exciting. We'll also have Big East Tournament basketball for you this week. We also are going to talk about the assumed firing of Kim English, which has not been made official by the school yet, but has been reported by many credible media outlets. So we'll get into all that. Obviously, the vibes are very low in Friar Town now. Mac, how we doing? How we doing today?
Yeah, I mean, at the time of recording, maybe the time of release, hopefully we're 72 hours removed from a changing of the guard in Friar Town. Also, another thing I wanted to know, we can get to later, but do I have beef with our current head coach? Is that something definitely to monitor on our way down to New York on Wednesday? Just something to monitor.
I mean, has this been the biggest roller coaster of a season in program history? Just absolutely insane. I mean, just the past few years, starting with Cooley up until now, it's just been up and down, up and down. A majority of it has been down, honestly, but it's really unfortunate, how the Kim English era is going to end here in Providence, because I said this on Twitter, and this fan base was fired up when he got here. Mindset, the shirts, you name it, the PCBC going crazy on Twitter to support Kim English and this team, and just the results aren't there, and there really isn't much of a choice but to part ways at this point.
Absolutely. And if you told me that we'd be in this situation and all those things that have happened, the turn of events that have happened from, it's not like the Cooley firing obviously started it all. I mean, Cooley leaving obviously started it all. But if you told me, like, when we beat Wisconsin at home in Kim's first year and we were like in the top 25, things were going great. We had Bryce, we had Devin Carter. It was looking like we could have competed for a Big East regular season, championship that year. Team was loaded. And I think Kim came into a good situation with like a lot of ready-made talent and a lot of like a team that was kind of ready to go. And then you kind of saw the other side, which is Kim's ability to build a winning culture, build a roster, identify talent, identify grittiness and toughness. And that obviously was a failure the last 2 years. So yeah, it's been really shitty, but brighter days are definitely ahead because it really can't get any worse.
No.
Mac might have beef with Kim English, though.
Yeah, I need some clarification on that because I was at Mohegan Saturday night, and I just checked my phone, and I got a mention from Led Zeppelin saying Kim English really has beef with Moneyline Mac, and I was so confused. I was in a whirlwind. I'm a handful of Captain and Cokes deep. And I'm just like, what is he talking about? But yeah, who knows? Maybe a little bit of foreshadowing.
Explain to the folks what happened, because I saw you did that, but I haven't. I was in Vermont this weekend, so I didn't really follow through on what exactly happened. So explain it.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, obviously we did go to the St. Louis URI game, and Mac wore a shirt that said Josh Shirts Friar. And it did make I would be hesitant to say national news, but it was reported by national outlets, Barstool, like their main account. It was also Mark Titus. So those are national, media sources, right? Mm-hmm. So yesterday, leaving the press conference, Kim said, "How about them Patriots?" Right?
Yes.
To the media room, and obviously George Mason. They just
Right.
beat St. Louis by like 30. So I think he was kind of taking a dig at Shirts, but more so if you kind of maybe looked at it a little more in depth, probably more like the PC fans, because he's really been doing that after every game, just kind
Okay.
of PC fans. So he's probably kind of taking a little shot at all the fans that want Josh Shirts to come to PC. And obviously that's not just Mac, that's almost all of them. But Mac is kind of like the poster child for that right now, because he wore a shirt and it got reported.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also totally preparing myself for a world where Josh Shirts is not the head coach in a couple weeks, and just receipts get broken out, and it's just I'm getting ripped to shreds. So, fingers crossed. I'm in too deep on the Shirts train now.
I mean, you made it on to Barstool and other media outlets, so I mean, it ended up with good content, so I wouldn't be ashamed of that if they don't get him at all, Mac. I think that was great by you. Yes, I did see Kim say, "How about them Patriots?" I wasn't sure if he liked something or quote tweeted or something, because he's been on a rampage right now. He's posting stuff. He's posting stories on IG. He's in New York Post Instagram comments. They said, what did he say? Can you get some better pictures of me at MSG next time for the story?
Yeah, you use some pictures from MSG. So yeah, pretty much.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So he's been all over the place. So he's well aware of everything that is being said about him. So he must be just scrolling constantly. And it's tough because, like, I don't think he's a bad guy. And fans here are brutal. I'm brutal. You guys are brutal. Like, it's tough here. And that's why the character of this next coach, you have to somebody that can come in here with some thick skin, because it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies around here. People are going to get pissed off. And not to mention, they're going to get even more pissed off because we've had a losing program for 2-3 years at this point now. So people are chomping at the bit. This hire, I think, is one of the most important hires in the history of the program up until this point.
You could make the argument that it's the most important, because a lot of times when we go and get a coach, kind of really got nothing to lose. Like when we hired Ed Cooley, program was in the dumps. Kind of like treaded water with Tim Welsh for 10 years. Then Keno just plummeted it. Where, we were 2023 coming off a Sweet 16, and then in 2023 losing to Kentucky in the NCAA tournament, and then losing Ed Cooley. That hire, like, I was kind of okay with taking a little bit of a risk, because I thought you built such a great brand and a great program. Great fan base through all those 12 years, and if it didn't work out, you can kind of correct it pretty fast. But now's the time to correct it, and they got to do it. So
yeah, you got to right the ship. We've talked about before how I think I think you can separate the coach from the human, and I think we've all kind of been on record saying Kim is genuinely a good dude. But I think you can also say that in the same breath of, I don't want him coaching my basketball program. Like, Mike, Leb, you guys are both great dudes. If you guys were the head coach of the Friars, I'd be pissed in the most respectful way possible.
Yes.
So it's, but Kim the person now that I'm seeing kind of the reaction to everything, trolling the fan base, going in the Instagram comments. I'm not sure. Have we seen a coach exit in this way, where he's just kind of like trolling the fans on social media? Like, I don't know if immature is the right word, but he's going about it in a weird way. Like, he's like walking out the door with 2 middle fingers up.
Yeah, he's not going out sad, that's for sure. He's going to go out guns blazing at this point. And it's but it's hard when you don't see any improvement from your guys throughout these years. And then you see guys transfer and go have success at other schools. Bonk, Pierre, TCU's going to the tournament. You see these guys playing, Castro, see these guys playing well, and you're like, well, why couldn't they stay here? Why couldn't we develop them? And I think that's red flag number one, as far as, you can get the guys here, but the talent, it's not getting any better. We don't see much improvement once they get here.
Rafael Castro was on draft boards this year.
Right.
Definitely.
Tough.
Yeah. The player development has obviously been a major issue. And I think you can overcome some of those things with, like, injecting first-year guys like Jameer. And, I mean, I hate to put Vox and Jameer in the same sentence, because, at the beginning of the year, it was Vox. end of the year, you look back and it was like, well, kind of really didn't work out. But you can kind of inject first-year guys and maybe lose some player development, like whatever, it's fine. But it's just been a disaster, honestly. And I had a tweet. We've had 5 all Big East freshmen. In those years, we've averaged 15 wins. Like, no player development. All those players are still with the program. I mean, obviously, Rich Barron didn't play this year, but he regressed last year. Oswin, Oswin's development is the most curious out of anyone. And again, that's the only reason why I still might be okay with him coming back, because I'd love to see him with a coach that could maybe develop some talent.
Oh, yeah, I totally believe Leb. I think he had a theory. I'm not sure if we talked about it on air. That I'm paraphrasing here, but like Kim English is like just kills big men. And I do think under the right coach with Oswin's frame and athletic ability, he can develop into, not fringe All-American, but like shoe in all conference center. That type of talent. But yeah, it's his development is probably the most, like, the easiest to point to, and like, how is he not at the point we expect him to be at? And yeah, when you zoom out, it's the development has been an issue for 3 years now.
You know what's unfortunate is us having to watch history repeat itself. We were there for the Cooley game against Seton Hall when the players found out that he was gone and they got blown out of the freaking water. And then the other night against DePaul on senior night, we were hoping for a win. The students showed out. The place was basically full besides the one opposite end zone up top. It was a great crowd. People were excited. And it was probably one of the worst games I've ever watched in that building. It was an absolute joke. And it was very like that Cooley game when the players knew that he was getting fired. I was with Mac Leb. I think he was on the wood again. I wouldn't know. I don't really see him at the games. He sits on the floor. He's a VIP. But Mac and I, blue collar, hard hat guys, we're up in the stands, fucking getting after it. And we had to watch that shit again. And that sucked for a fan base, especially like ours, that is as passionate as we are. We have to deal with that shit again. And now we're starting from scratch. But like we said, hopefully better days are ahead.
I felt it was a little ceremonial after the game and finding out that Kim was fired, where, if you kind of look at this era of PC basketball, it kind of goes from the Seton Hall game, right? Ed Cooley's Seton Hall game that we all know was a disaster, to the Marquette game that we all.
Did I say DePaul? I'm sorry, Marquette.
I think you said Marquette, then you said DePaul. I think you said both.
My bad.
It's all good. But yeah, I mean, it kind of goes from like that is that era of PC basketball. Like, I know that, different coaches, but realistically, that same feeling that you get when you think back to all that, it's, the Seton Hall game to the Marquette game. So if that's it, right? And then you got Brad's obviously burning down, which absolutely, but it just felt very ceremonial. And I feel like, kind of we're over the hump. I feel like the worst is behind us. Like last night, watching the Georgetown game, PC game, right? You didn't feel anything. There was no feeling. It was just like, this is just sad, but whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
And not to bring up, bad times, but the final game last year, that was definitely against DePaul last season, and they lost that one. That was bad too. So just a lot of these end of the season, and that sucked. I remember that. I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. And then, another season is crap. So yeah, that's the last time I'll bring up awful ends of the season again, but there was that one too. So it's just been I've been walking out of that building with my head low a lot the last few seasons, and I hope to change that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game against DePaul, I think we talked about before. I was sitting with Leb during that game. I just looked at him. I said, like, this is rock bottom, man.
Yeah.
Little did we know. We had a full extra season of Kim English 26.
Ball. It's like hold my beer, bud.
Yeah, tragedy. Tragedy was on the horizon. So speaking of after the Marquette game, though, obviously the story came out from Adam Zagoria, Clyde Hopkins' best friend, that Kim was informed a week prior that he wouldn't be coming back to coach the Friars next season. What was your guys' reaction from that? Because I kind of thought, like, at least as a PC fan, like, I had been saying Kim was a dead man walking for a month and a half since Georgetown.
Yeah, and that's really it. Like, obviously the timing was unique and odd, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, the entire fan base and most of college basketball, the college basketball community has assumed and been calling for Kim English to be fired as head coach of the Providence College Friars. So whether that happens in, end of February, early March, mid-March, end of March, like I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I do wish that it didn't leak, and I do wish maybe some things were handled better. But at the end of the day, like, we're talking about a guy who we've been calling a lame duck on this show, like verbatim. That's a direct quote. He's been fired, right? Maybe not the best timing, but does it really matter? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we literally had a show like a month ago called Search SZN.
Right.
So, like, we literally went through like 10 guys to take his job. So, no, I'm not surprised. I'm sure you guys aren't. I was surprised that it leaked. I've never seen a firing kind of go down like this before, unless it has happened where it's leaked before the season. I've never seen it. It's a little odd. It's awkward. It must be awkward for the team. So that's unfortunate how that had to go down. But no, like, this had to happen. This fan base deserved to see some change. We hopefully we can see some more winning seasons coming up, and I wish the best for him wherever he goes. I don't know where that's going to be. But our attention, and I know the school's attention, is turned to finding a new coach. And I think that attention I think those gears have already started going a while ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My thoughts on that are, like, it's a weird scenario. You don't see things like this. Normally, like, when news like this comes out, it's like, okay, well, this guy's going to be fired mid-season.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of either you're fired or, the general public wasn't aware that this guy was already told he was going to be fired. So it is a very awkward situation. And, however the information got out, I've tried to think about it from, like, both sides here. Like, did Kim and his agent leak it? Did the athletic department leak it? Just trying to figure out, like who would have something to gain in a situation like this. And I really don't. I can't see a reason why that would benefit the school or the program. Yeah. And, like, is this just another way of Kim, chucking the bird on the way out?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. You would think that he had his agent leak that out, or he did somehow. And this goes back to when he wasn't wearing the logo and everyone was giving us shit for posting. I posted a video on our Twitter being like, why is he wearing all black? And the whole staff is wearing, and everyone's like, you're thinking too much. What who cares what he wears? No, there's a reason. They must have had conversations then. And he got pissed off and he goes, fuck this shit. And he didn't wear the logo. And I bet you the school went back to him and was like, hey, we're paying you $10 million to get bought out. Wear the logo for the rest of the season. And he did. So where there's smoke, there's fire.
I absolutely agree. And the idea that, like, Kim didn't know what he was doing, or, he wasn't thinking about that. Like, you guys are reading too much into it. You guys are all wrong. Kim English is the most thoughtful person. And I don't mean thoughtful like, I got you a gift for your birthday. Like, he is the most thought-inducing person. He thinks about everything, and he's a very smart guy. I respect Kim's intelligence. Smart. Yeah, I respect his ability to articulate. I appreciate, like, his knowledge about maybe himself. Like, I feel like he's very emotionally intelligent, and he understands himself probably better than a lot of college basketball coaches who are just like, head down, let's win, let's win, grind, whatever, where I feel like Kim's kind of like, all right, move slow. Like, this is my thing, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, he knows what he's doing all the time. And he's also incredibly online, like, so online. Like, him deleting his Twitter account is proof of absolutely nothing. Like,
he has to have a burner.
Absolutely.
100%. Also, the same people who said it was just a coincidence that Kim wasn't wearing the logo are probably the same people. They probably also thought Kim was just posting Cal Ripken on his Instagram story because he was excited for spring training.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
just grain of salt on that one.
Or people getting upset because we looked at his comments last episode when he's basically calling the fans out, and it's like, why do you have to be upset? And it's like, well, I mean, we have to talk about that. We can't not talk about it and react to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that episode came out, and a day or two later Zagoria broke the story. And honestly, at first I thought it was just speculation, kind of engagement farming, for lack of a better phrase, just trying to get something out there, beat everyone to the punch. But then you see like multiple people confirming it, like multiple reporters. So it had to have gotten out, and from a pretty reliable source.
Well, people started to confirm more the next day, right? Because that night Zagoria posted it, and everyone was kind of just like, all right, what? Like, Zagoria, why? This is random. And then, so Steve Peralta, he messaged me a screenshot of a Bleacher Report update he got to his phone that said Kim English fired. And he sent it to me. I'm like, I'm not seeing anything official. Where the hell are they getting this? So you had outlets like Bleacher Report just seeing that, and they're just running with the story, which is crazy, which it hadn't been, there was no reliable source that said this has happened yet, and they just ran with it.
Absolutely. I was speculative until, and I know we were very hard on him last episode because of the St. John's game, but I was speculative until Kevin McNamara tweeted it, that like he basically confirmed that after the season, whatever. And that's about as official it will get, besides the school coming out. Right. Like, K-Mac has been around for 100 years, and he has a lot of connections. And at the end of the day, if like he has a good enough relationship with the athletic department where if it wasn't true, he knows that could be damaging. And yeah, he might shit on PC fans, whatever, but he's not probably going to put the school in a bad situation. And yeah, I mean, so that was when it was like, all right, this is obviously true,
Yeah, I think Frank Carpano also tweeted something about it, kind of confirming the sources report, whatever. And I agree. I think when you get local reporters kind of confirming it, that's about as close to boots on the ground as you can get without being a part of the program.
Right.
So that's kind of when it was like, okay. But the timeline to me is weird. And I guess, it really doesn't matter if they told him in January or they told him a week before the Marquette game. But a week before the Marquette game, I'm sure we all remember, don't let the Friars get hot. Like you're in the middle of a little bit of a heater. Just the timing was just very weird. I don't know. The report was obviously a week prior, but I think we're all in the camp of like, he's known for almost 2 months now.
Which when you think about it, why tell him in the middle of the season? Is somebody within this program being like, enough is enough, tell him now, I don't care? Because how does that help things? I guess you could be up front and say, we're done, we're looking for another guy, so you're not doing it behind his back. I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably just a common courtesy thing, like just respect thing to not
so
catch
he
him
can
off
get the
guard
ball rolling too with his agent, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Honestly, if I were to guess, I think the most likely scenario would be that Kim and Knapp probably had conversations because, ironically, Kim's going to the press conference saying like, "Oh, I don't listen to the outside noise," which we all know is 100% entirely, completely false. He is listening to everything, and he's very online. And I'm sure they have conversations about like, hey, like a lot of people are upset, right? Majority of the fan base wants you fired. I think they have a very transparent relationship, and I don't think Knapp dislikes Kim nearly as much as the PC fans do. Like, I think they probably have had an okay relationship. Like, I think that more than likely Knapp may have told him like, hey, we might be looking for replacements. And then when maybe they have identified one, and agreed on one, then they had to tell him. Because why tell him after a 3-game winning streak? You know, like, doesn't make any sense. The only reason they would do that is if maybe they did put ink on paper at that time with a new coach. And it also kind of aligns with maybe that new prospective coach was a little concerned about maybe PC changing their mind about Kim English for year 4, because he did go on a 3-game winning streak. He did beat Creighton on the road, and the fan base was kind of turning toward maybe getting him a 4th year, you know? So I don't know. That's obviously all conspiracy, but it is the most sensible and logical theory in my personal opinion.
And then you see a team like, Boston College today, soon as their last game was over, they're not going to the ACC tournament, Earl Grant fired. So I wonder, I know, different schools, who knows how their athletic department is working, but yeah. I wonder if, a school like that, they let Earl Grant know he was gone, or today they were just, I don't know where they were like, yep, that's it. See ya. But shout out to BC for making a move, because people were saying he might have stuck around for another year. That guy had to go as well. So New England college basketball here, besides Hurley, a lot of shakeups. I think Gallo makes more sense for Boston College.
Definitely.
Yep.
Love that.
I was just gonna say, Leb, your boy Joe Gallo's been thrown around in the BC spaces a lot. So
good.
Good. And Cooley now, like we said months ago on this program, by the way, the Cooley thing's starting to heat up again too. But I don't think they're gonna. Are they going to fire him, Georgetown?
That's the thing. I don't think so.
I don't think they can afford to right now.
He's got a big.
As crazy as that sounds.
Kind of to a nuclear contract, and honestly,
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I would, if I was in the BC athletic department, I probably would have given Ed Cooley a call, and I'm sure that if Ed Cooley had a hankling that he was being fired, then he probably might have let him know. I don't know, or maybe said like, give me one more year here and then I'll come. Then they probably would have kept Earl Grant. I don't know, but
right.
But I think that Joe Gallo probably makes the most sense. They need like a guy who is just like boring, no frills, like who's just gonna just win basketball games. Like that's it. Like they just need that. Like raise the floor at Boston College. Like get them back to like 10-10 in the ACC.
Right. Not asking for much. Those fans.
No, they're not. They're not.
And neither are we. I mean, we want more than that, but like we just want to win some games.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We want to see the ball go in the hoop.
That's it. We're a better program than Boston College, but
yes,
like we just want to make the tournament pretty much, in perpetuity, right? Like we don't need to be in the top 10, top 15, get the tournament, make a run every 5 years, whatever, we're happy.
Speaking of tournaments, how do you guys feel? Because you guys are going, obviously we want to win games, but like, are you guys like just lose and just get the season over with against Butler? Like, where do you guys stand?
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I do want to see them play St. John's. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, like, regardless, and the Garden, packed house, St. John's, PC. That's kind of it's kind of must watch TV at the end of the day. Like after everything that happened, so I think that'd be cool for the entertainment standpoint. Do I really care about the result at this point? No, not really. They're not going to win the tournament.
Part of me wants to just be like, get the show on the road. Like, just, expedite the inevitable. Get, if you lose Wednesday, Kim's canned Wednesday night. But at the same time, like, I've had conversations about this. If PC wins their third Big East championship in the conference's, 40-year history, 50-year history, I mean, am I really going to complain? Like, obviously the longevity, it's tough to just like can a coach right after that, and then this whole thing gets 10 times more interesting. But can you really complain if you win your third conference title in 50 years?
No.
40 years or whatever?
No. I agree. I agree with Leb. Like, yeah, like if you lose, whatever, let's get this thing on the road. But it would be cool to see them play against St. John's again, and you might have a chance just because we know what it's been like between St. John's and PC on the court and St. John's and PC off the court this year. It's been a bloodbath. So if we had some more, leg to stand on with another one in MSG, that would be fun. But just watching them play, just watching that game last night, I was just like, never more turned off in my life at the end of the game. I'm like, this is so gross, man. Just get this shit over with.
Yeah. I had to watch the game on my phone last night.
Me too.
Entirety of it. And I'll tell you why. All right, I'll tell you why. So I went to the bar that my girlfriend works at, have a little dinner, got a nice TV. No one ever is wanting to put stuff on television, right? I'm the only one that goes in there and wants to dictate, the TV. So I go in there. There's no seats at the bar. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to go out to the car. I was like, Megan, just text me, when a seat opens up. I'll come in. Game hasn't started yet. She texted me just after the game started and was like, oh, a seat opened up. I'm like, great. I go to sit down. I ask her for the remote. She's like, actually, some other guys just asked for it. So I'm looking like, oh, nice. They're going to put on the PC game. Obviously, it's March, right? We're in Johnston, Rhode Island. More than likely probably going to put on the PC game. It's just sports only, whatever. So the guy, he says, he's like, no, I want to watch the U.S. Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic. And I'm like, all right, well, I love the World Baseball Classic, but but we got to put a PC game on. So obviously I'm not a very quiet person. So I'm like, no, get the Friars game on. What are we doing? You want to watch Jazz Chisholm in the World Baseball Classic playing Great Britain? It's March. We get college basketball on. So this guy, it's an Italian restaurant, and he goes, he looks at me. He goes real slow. Looks at me he goes, they fucking suck, don't they? And I was like,
oh, you motherfucker!
Dude, I know. I was getting pissed. I was like, who cares? Whatever. I was like, we're 10 minutes down the road from the team, and he goes, all right, well, I'm putting the baseball game on. I was like, all right, whatever, buddy. That's fine. So I'm kind of chirping him a little bit, but nothing crazy.
He worked there, or he was a customer?
No, he's a customer. He's next to me. So kind of goes on a little bit. They finally find the station. Megan, she was like, oh, I'm really sorry, to me. And I was right next to the guy. She's like, I'm really sorry. I know you want to watch the game. You came in for the game, whatever. I was like, it's no big deal, whatever. I'll just watch it on my phone. I was like, we got to watch the World Baseball Classic. So, and he goes,
why did he get say? Why does he have the end all be all?
I don't know. Well, because he did ask for the remote first. So that's the only reason why I wasn't fighting it too much. But this guy was just a dick. And he looks at me. After I said that, I was like, whatever. Got to watch World Baseball Classic. He looks at me. He goes, we got a fucking problem?
Get the fuck out.
Dude, I swear to God. So I'm like, dude, no, we don't have a problem over a television station. We're not going to fight about this. This is not going to happen. And he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like,
what a fucking clown. Shut up, dude.
Clown show. So I had to watch it on my phone, but long story short.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank God I wasn't. That would have. Oh, dude.
It was one of those moments it's been a tough year, right? And then this guy's like, well, they fucking suck, dude.
Fuck off, dude.
We're in fucking jobs.
I've gotten to the point, not necessarily fighting for TV controls, but when PC comes up and a non-PC fan just looks at me and is like, well, they suck, don't they? I've just gotten to the point where just my standard is just yeah, so?
Yeah, exactly.
So?
Who cares?
You go down with the ship.
Exactly.
I wish I had the restraint that you guys had. I can't. I hate the slander about our beloved team. I actually got lucky. So I was in Vermont, up at Mount Snow for the weekend with some friends. Didn't ski. Never skied in my life. So,
yeah, me either.
But I enjoy the après ski. But we were at this place last night in Vermont, and I asked to put the game on, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, sure." It was one TV in there, and he put it on. And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we were watching it, and there was a band playing. They were like, "Oh, come watch the band," and I was just like, "I, you know who I am, okay? Come say hi to me. I'll be sitting right here alone watching this stupid game," which I did. And then they all wanted to leave, and there was there's a minute 30 left, and they were like, "Well, everyone wants to leave." I was like, fine. Okay. I'm not going to hold everybody up here. So I'm watching it on my phone, and where our cabin was is up this fucking mountain, like middle of nowhere. Great place, but it's like way up there. Of course, fucking service goes out. I don't see the last minute of the game or whatever. So I have to go back and like watch it. I forgot highlight or whatever. And I'm just like, probably for the best I didn't see that shit anyways.
Absolutely.
But
yeah,
shout out to Vermont. Great state.
Beautiful.
I've never been to Vermont.
You never stumbled upon Vermont?
Nope. I have spent countless nights in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if I've ever stepped foot in Vermont.
That's what I meant. Like you never even like crossed.
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay.
Do you guys ski?
No.
I used to.
No.
Yeah, I'll never. I tried it once and I looked like an idiot. I got wet. I hurt my leg. Like, I'm not winning anything. Like, for me at this point, 34 years old, there's no reason for me to ski. And then I get injured. And there's nothing more embarrassing than a 34-year-old with crutches walking around. I just don't need that. Crash into a tree, split my head open. I'll wait. So me and my buddy Adam, we waited down by the bar at the bottom of the mountain. It was great. You had a view. You could see the people coming down the mountain. Woo! It's great.
Yeah.
On the way out though, because it looks like an amusement park when you first come up and you pay your ski lift. It's like $200 for a day pass.
Oof.
I didn't know it was that expensive. And then all the equipment.
Yep. God forbid you got to rent equipment.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's bread.
That's a lot of bread for sure.
See, Mike, the key to skiing is the pizza French fry technique.
Right. I heard about
pizza
that.
French fry. Never forget.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you know I've heard about that, but listen, I can't be pizza and French frying like at 31 years old. You know, like I think there's a age cutoff of when you can learn things. Now, like if I grew up skiing, I could ski at 80 and be fine, right?
Right.
But learning at 30 is tough. Like, and
it's embarrassing.
It's an ego death.
Exactly. I was talking to some people about this because they were like, "Oh, you should learn. It's easy." I was like, "Probably not going to do that." Like, you know, like I just, you know, I got a kidney transplant. Like, I don't think I'm going to be learning to ski like at this point in my life. Like, I think I'm okay. You know, I think I'm okay. I would go though. Like I've always said to like Megan, like, oh yeah, I'd go to the ski lodge, have a good time. You know, a little fireplace, maybe some, you know, fucking wings or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Hottie toddy. What do they call the hot toddy? The warm drink?
I think you got it. Hot toddy.
Is that what it is?
Hottie toddy? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's just hot. Just hot toddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hot toddy.
Okay.
Yeah. Hot toddy.
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy. But no, it was good. Yeah, good maple syrup. I hit the gift shop hard. Really great. Just great. You know the classic like general store candies.
Oh yeah. Maple
saltwater taffy.
Oh, saltwater taffy.
Saltwater taffy. They had someone in the back, the classic, they're making fudge out back. And you're looking in the window. Whoa, look at that. Looks like fudge.
Yeah.
Licorice, those old candies. I love that shit, man. Candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
sure.
Funny in New England, all the seasonal stuff like is the same regardless of the season, but just different. Like you get those same things like when you go to Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard, in the summer. And then when you go skiing in the winter, you get that too. It's like, but
New England's the best. I mean, like, think about how many places you have a beautiful mountain range you can ski in, beaches, hiking trails, woods, cities, sporting events, like you name it. Like, we kind of have a little bit. Yeah, this winter sucks. The winter blows. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But we just have a little bit of everything. If you're willing to go and travel around and check out the different stuff, like New England has you covered.
I was just about to say this winter, like I was all in, on New England. I was like, this just because I lived in California and I fucking hated it. And then, I was all in on New England. And then this winter, I'm kind of like, oh man, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, when it's like 65 degrees in like 2 days and, the sun's out, I'll be in New York. So close enough to New England. But I'll be like, this is the best place ever. Like, you guys are fucking
Well, you guys got slammed. I mean, we all got slammed, but especially you guys down where you are. That storm really fucking was brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then think about like being in Florida or Arizona in the summer, and all they have is just hot. Like I was in Arizona in August last year, and I felt like I was in an oven.
Yeah, that's what I live. Where I lived in California was it was the desert, and it was so fucking hot all the time. It's like it's not fun at all.
It's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like 75 in Manhattan this week.
Could be. Yeah, I
for the
I
Big
saw a
East
couple
tournament.
highs of like 68, 69, but I didn't see quite that high, but that'd be amazing.
I also haven't checked in a while. I'm going to pull it up right now. That's where MSG is, right? Manhattan.
That is correct. Yes.
7th Street Burger. That's my recommendation for you guys.
All right,
It's
I
near
love it.
It's near Times Square. I went there after Sox Yankees with Steve for the wild card. We walked in to just like whatever. It's gonna be like a whatever burger. It's not like sit down, you walk in, you order it, they give it to you. It was one of the best burgers I ever had. It's right next to Times Square. Outstanding 7th Street Burger, and they got the Coke in the bottles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
like the little glass bottle.
Yeah, the old school bottles. Yeah,
nice. Mike, I before I forget, do you remember the name? I remember one time we recorded, you had mentioned a place. It's a bar that just gives out dogs.
Oh yeah, Rudy's.
Rudy's.
Rudy's. Yeah.
I'm gonna start running the list right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
free.
I appreciate the recommendations because I go to I go to New York every year, and I go to the same places every year, and it's like, I kind of want to mix it up, so.
What, a lot of Jack Dempsey's? A lot of what else?
Bars, yeah. I'm talking about like for food though, like we go to Katz, we go to Ferrera, we get a little pizza, yeah. So I mean, kind of like similar spots every year. So I need to kind of switch it up.
Are you guys planning on going out? Out?
Well, I'll probably dabble.
I have a place in Chinatown.
All right, let me break out the list again.
This
is my hashtag the list.
Yeah, it's called Peachy's.
Peachy's.
It's in Chinatown. It's like in this basement. It's sick down there. They got these plants like hanging from the ceiling. Sick music. Places bumping. And then, so I would definitely hit that. And then down the street, there's another place. I got to find the name of it. But you walk down these stairs and it just looks like it's this Coke machine. And you're thinking you're getting a Coke, and then you open it and it opens a door to this bar.
There's a place like that in Seaport, right over near Cisco.
Oh yeah, it looks like you're walking into a fridge.
Yeah, like you're in like a diner, and then you kind of walk.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it.
I was just there too. I forget the fucking name
Seaport.
of it. Yeah, I agree. I went there. Yeah, I went on a date there. Sue me.
Nah, Seaport's all right, whatever, a little putt shack action, but it's
called the place we're talking about in Seaport is called Borrachito.
Borrachito.
Yep, and it looks like you're about to walk into like a meat freezer, and then it's like a cig bar.
But yeah, the Manhattan experience is a great time. I love Manhattan. It's awesome. Just walk around, and that's really the thing. Like with the weather, so if you're on the fence about going up, or rather going down, geographically speaking, to the Big East tournament, then it's a good time. And I know we got a lame duck coach and finished in fucking 9th, all those things, but whatever. I just bought 2 tickets, center court, upper level. Cost me like $46 after fees for 2 tickets for the whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all 3 games on day 1. So it's only day 1, but it's all 3 games on day 1. So.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
No, day 1 is pretty tame. The championship, those prices are pretty high, but it also depends on who's in it. The fan bases kind of dictate the prices. Obviously, if it's St. John's and UConn, geographically, that's tough for the ticket prices.
Mm-hmm.
I have the place for you, Mac. I'm sorry. This is the last place I'm going to add to your list. This is the Coke machine place in Chinatown. It's called Basement. So I would try to hit Basement and Peachy's in Chinatown both in one night. I think
Cool.
you guys would like those. Or
Yeah,
any
I'll-
other Friar fans that are going.
I was going to say to anyone listening, YouTube comments, Twitter, whatever, I'm open to suggestions. I'll test out whatever. I don't think I've been to New York City in like 7 years. Like it's been a while since I've been. So
Yeah.
definitely
It's
down to
time.
dabble.
Have some fun.
Exactly.
Enjoy yourself.
I'm sure as hell not going to be there to watch good basketball. So
Well, you'll probably see some good hoop. Are you going to go Thursday if they lose?
yeah, I'll probably pick a game or two to watch on Thursday. Maybe the early games, and then go out, grab dinner, drinks at night.
Yeah.
So, I will say, I am painting the mental picture. So, like in a hypothetical world, Friars have the 4:00 game Wednesday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is the earliest tip. I'm starting to picture a world where the Friars inevitably lose because that's kind of what we've been conditioned to expect at this point. But that news breaks, that tweet gets fired off, whatever reporter fires off the tweet. Kim English fired at probably like 6:30, 7 o'clock on Wednesday. And I'm going to Jack Dempsey's. My wallet's going to hate me. I'm going to start buying drinks for everyone. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Honestly, we're kind of in a win-win because, and Jack Dempsey's is kind of in a win-win because either that is scenario A, PC loses, and then, the witch is dead, right, at Jack Dempsey's, and people are getting fucking hammered,
Mm-hmm.
Or we win, and Thursday we're playing St. John's, and pregame Jack Dempsey's is probably absolutely fucking mobbed, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, we have a lame duck coach. Yeah, all those things, all of them, right? We know all of the stakes, the scenarios, but you can't kill this fan base. I mean, people have compared us to cockroaches, and I think that's pretty fair. There's no scenario in which if we're playing St. John's on the Thursday in the quarterfinal that Jack Dempsey's won't be absolutely mobbed with PC fans. So,
And
go ahead, Mac. My bad.
I was just going to say, I believe if we win Wednesday, the 1 versus 9 game would be the noon tip off, correct?
good question.
Because I think it would go in order, kind of like down the bracket. So you'd get 1, 9, 4, 5. If I'm not mistaken, I can pull up the bracket. See, this would be a good time for Avid. Pull up the tip times.
Yeah.
Well, Wednesday, I know that we're at 4, Xavier Marquette's at 6:30, and Georgetown DePaul's at 9.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up here.
Yeah, so I believe you basically go down the bracket. So the 1, 9 would be at noon, 4, 5 at 2:30, 2, 7 at 7 o'clock, and then the 3 versus 6 at 9:30. So the late tip.
All right. Hypothetically speaking, what if the
I'd probably
Friars
do it.
know that? What if the Friars win the Big East tournament?
He's still gone. It's probably already a done deal. There's no
See,
way
that's
you
the
can
thing,
bring us
though,
back
is-
at this point.
He is, but
That's just tough, I think, optics wise. Like if you're the athletic department,
correct.
to be like, oh, thanks for the conference championship.
Yeah.
We're gonna hang a banner, but you're not gonna be there for it. Like I don't know. Like it's tough to sell a future coach on that, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm just not even going to get my hopes up because I've watched this team play, and I just don't see it, especially beating a team like UConn, just with the defense they play. I can't see it. And then, kind of, I hate to say it, but once Vox came in, Sellers, he still played good, but it wasn't the same. Like things felt different, and he just hasn't been great, honestly, Vox, and it's kind of killed him the last couple of games.
But I think in this hypothetical fantasy land where, the Friars do end up ripping off 4 in a row, which, by the way, Kim English has never won 4 Big East games in a row. So just, even if there's a 0.1% chance, to try not to get your hopes up.
Yeah.
This is why I think it couldn't have been the athletic department who leaked the story about Kim being told he's being fired at the end of the season.
Yeah, there's no way.
Because you're telling me the February Friars just ripped off 3 in a row, and now you're going to say it, and you kind of tie yourself down to like, even if we do win the conference, you're canned, knowing that's a bad look. Like I can't see a world where, because if you're going to leak it, it's calculated. Like we know Kim's a calculated guy. Like there's a reason for it. I just don't see a reason why the athletic department would do that, because you are tying yourself down to that.
And if you're Knapp right now, right, like on the surface, yeah, you're thinking like, oh man, it'd be sick if we won the Big East tournament. Like we faced all this shit all year, like all this bullshit. But what a shitstorm it would be if they do win the Big East tournament. And you think Kim English is going out middle finger, guns blazing?
Oh my God!
I mean the tour that he would do, the parade that he would do of fuck you would be incessant. It would be insane, and the media would also join in and be like, "Can you believe they fired this guy mid-season and he just won the Big East tournament?" It would be a disaster, but
It would suck.
Like I still would be okay with it.
Yeah, the backlash would be crazy.
It would be horrible.
I'm battered. I don't want to deal with any crap anymore. I just want to see what's next.
And I also think there have been things thrown around about like, is what PC's doing? Like, there's been talks about kind of making handshake deals in season with whoever the next coach could be. Ethics has been thrown around. That's a word that's kind of been thrown around. Is it ethical what Providence College is doing? And honestly, at this point, I don't give a shit, man. After the last coach, the way he left, I don't give a shit about ethics. I want to win games.
Right. I agree with that.
You can't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like if you're not doing this now, then you're way behind, because Kansas State, they have an opening, right? Like that's a program that has a good amount of money, and I mean I think it's a toss up on which program might be more desirable for a coach. I think they're both great places to build a nice foundation, but I will say this: Josh Schertz publicly turned down the Kansas State job. He has not publicly turned down the BC job. So just something to think about.
I'd like to make a wager, Leb. I mentioned this to both of you guys at the last game. If I want it marked in stone now, if Josh Schertz is the head coach of the Providence College Friars going into next season, I will shave my head live on the podcast. I will.
Nice.
1,000,000%. I'm like I said earlier, I'm too far in on the Josh Schertz train. If Josh Schertz is the head coach of the Providence Friars, I will shave my head for everyone's enjoyment and entertainment. So
I think
that'll be great, Con.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. Also, if Josh Schertz is the head coach, we'll offer his son a spot if he wants to be on the pod. We'll kick Abbott.
Exactly.
Come on over.
Someone clip this and send it to Josh Schertz. Josh, look at me, man. Josh, we're right here, brother. Come to Providence. You're built for this. This city was handmade for you. You want to see my bald little dome? Come to Friartown, brother.
Hey, I didn't see any K-State fans going to St. Louis games with Schertz as a Wildcat.
No,
yep.
And that's pretty close. That's what a drive. I mean, I don't know where Kansas State is in Kansas, but can't be too far from.
Maybe too far, right?
Yeah.
I'll pull up the geographics.
They're in Missouri.
Yeah.
They're in the same state.
St. Louis is where's that? That's like kind of northern Missouri, I want to say, maybe near Illinois.
So Manhattan, Kansas, which is where Kansas State is located.
Okay, I was wrong. Sorry.
Manhattan, Kansas to St. Louis, Missouri is a 5.5-hour ride.
Ooh.
So, listen, if you want it bad enough.
They don't want it bad enough. That's really
They don't want it bad enough.
That's why he publicly turned it down, but he has not publicly turned down PC.
Exactly.
So
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. You know what else is a pretty similar ride? About a 5-hour ride. Cincinnati to Missouri.
they don't want it bad enough.
Cincinnati doesn't want it bad enough.
They don't want it. We want it. We want it. Where's the A10 tournament? Let's ditch the Big East tournament and go to that one.
Actually, timeout. Hold on, full timeout.
Not in Brooklyn, I don't think. I think it's in.
Is that the Barclays?
Is it in Brooklyn?
It's in Pittsburgh. Never mind. It's PPG Paints Arena.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if it was in Brooklyn, I was gonna have to make some arrangements.
Yeah, it has been in Brooklyn, and I do know a couple people that have gone to like both, especially like Watch URI and whatever. But yeah, no, not this year.
I always see this alumni event every year. Do you at PJ Clark's? Do you guys ever go there?
Never been to PJ Clark's, but yeah, I saw that as well. So
yeah, Wednesday they're doing a Big East fundraiser, and if you, I don't know how much it is to get in there, but you're getting a vest, I guess, if you go.
600 per person for in.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, 600 in person, 500. You get a vest. You don't show up. You just make a donation. Your name gets on there, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, it's not cheap. Be some high rollers in there.
Yeah, but nice little spread. I mean,
I'm sure.
If you're kind of like listen, if you're a single guy, no kids, in your maybe your 40s, right, and you make some money, $600, you go out in New York City, you probably spend 100 anyways. $500 more dollars, you get a vest, and you probably get to shake hands with the assistant athletic director, which is insanely cool.
Well, you're right. When you think about how much money, like when you're out drinking and, getting rounds, you're not thinking about it. But like if you're there for a while, you get a few rounds of drinks, a bunch of food, and a vest. I mean, it's worth it if you got the money to spend.
Right. Is that a restaurant or is it like a bar? What is that?
I think it's a bar.
What is it? PJ Clark's?
PJ Clark's.
Didn't he play basketball, PJ Clark?
Yeah, wasn't that Celtics?
Yeah, didn't they have?
On the NBA 2008 team?
No, that's PJ Brown.
PJ Brown. Fuck.
Yeah, it looks like a restaurant.
Yeah.
A little bar action.
Did Michael Malone ever get rehired?
No, that's a name that's kind of.
So you want to know who threw that name? I got to give it up. The Podfather has been texting me about him. No, my dad.
I saw someone tweet about that, and I kind of laughed at it, but it makes sense. Like,
who he went to high school?
Went to Hendricken, no?
Yeah, he went to Hendricken, and I think he went to PC.
Yes.
He did he coach here or did he go here?
I think he was an assistant. Hold on, because they congratulated him on winning the finals. PC did in 2003 from the men's basketball account, and the picture behind it is him in like a suit, looking really young. So I'm assuming that's from here.
Yeah, no, he didn't go to PC. He did go to Hendricken, but he also went to Seton Hall Prep. He went to Worcester Academy. So I mean, he kind of hopped around. But yeah, he was an assistant under Barnes or Gillen. No, Gillen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just pulled up his Wikipedia. He was an assistant under Gillen from looks like 95 to 98.
Yeah, type shit. But yeah, I mean that'd be an interesting hire. Like, I think people are maybe overestimating his ability to like potentially be a college coach. And, I don't know how much of his NBA success was because of Jokic, but also, like, are you really turning down a guy with that pedigree? Like, he's been an assistant in college basketball, like 3 places. And then he was an assistant in the NBA from 2001 to 2013. And then he was a head coach for 12 years. Like, the guy's got more experience than anyone. So, I don't know.
For sure.
I'd be down for. I mean, guy won NBA Finals. I mean, sign me up.
Yeah.
Another Another NBA name that we've talked about, Billy Donovan.
Have you heard, have you thought about it?
I have gone from
Only all the time.
I've gone from a 0% chance that he's the Providence head coach to about a 3 to 5% chance.
Yep.
Like I'm starting to get the hopes are coming back up a little bit. Like
Me too.
the Bulls are bad, man.
They're bad.
What's the meme with the bunny and the clock? That's Billy Donovan's tenure in Chicago. Yep.
I mean, why not end your career at your alma mater? You bring them back to prominence, and you go out on a high note. We're not asking you to win the national championship, but it's like Bulls fire you. It's like no one in the NBA is gonna be like, I wish Billy Donovan was around. Like, no, you're wanted here, dude. Like, come home. Your jersey's retired. You can bring this program back to something special, and this place would be freaking buzzing.
Yep. And Herb Sendek is a name that's come up a lot as well. And I think it was Curry Hicksage who obviously does the Search SZN spaces. Try saying that 5 times fast. But there was talks that, if Herb Sendek comes over, he would bring, I think, Billy Donovan's son as an assistant. Who says Billy Donovan can't do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And almost make him like the predecessor. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I will say this. If you listen to Rick Pitino talk about Billy Donovan, he always says how, Billy was like the hardest working player that he's ever had. And he is just a downright insane competitor, like insane competitor. Guy loves to win, hates to lose, right? Which I think you can say that on a surface level about every, NBA and college coach, maybe besides Kim. But this guy loves to win, hates to lose. And the Bulls kind of did a little bit of like a tank, and I don't think that was his decision. So I think that he might be a little disenchanted with that. And also just with the NBA in general. So that's just pure speculation. Obviously, I don't know Billy. I've never talked to him. I think I maybe shook his hand once, but I don't have any knowledge about that. It's interesting because, you can come here, you can make $4 million, you can really be very, very comfortable and have job security for life, and also pass on something to your son, right? As the head coach, you could have him be the associate head coach under you. And you can't really do that with the Bulls. There's going to be people wanting you fired, wanting you dead, you can't hand the job to your kid. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, it's the NBA.
Right.
Like, you can't be like, I'm retiring. I want to have my son do this. I mean, it's the Bulls. Like, they're not going to go for that, but it's very, very interesting.
I mean, obviously I take Billy D any day, but I have found it very interesting to see God Shamgod openly campaigning for the job, reposting people's posts on IG about saying how they want him to come to Providence, someone's tweet about saying how Shamgod to Providence would make sense. I mean, it's tough because he doesn't have any experience as a head coach in college basketball, but he's been an assistant, in the NBA for a while. He was an assistant in college here at PC. Like, I mean, literally, I love this freaking guy. Look at it. I have his freaking card just like sitting on my desk.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, but I don't know if that's the right move, but I do find it cool that, he's openly campaigning for the job and he wants to be here if he could.
I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome that he's openly campaigning for the job.
And I think, obviously, he's credentialed enough to be on a high level staff. And it's cool to see him have so much pride, like take so much pride in kind of being, a former Friar and, pumping the brand. It would be a great vibes hire for sure. I just don't know if, can you rally a fan base? Can you rally a donor base with a guy who has 0 head coaching experience? Mm-hmm. I think that's the only thing he doesn't have going for him. But, if he wanted to take a similar role to what Gomes has this year,
definitely,
he's on the bench, but, I think people would love it, just not as a head coach.
At the end of the day, we all love God Shamgod, and we all love people that have played here, but I mean, the guy is campaigning for himself under a Rich Barron birthday post, and he's posting AI images of him being the head coach at Providence College. Like, I'm not trying to slander him in the slightest. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think that he could be possibly one of the most important assistants that we've ever had. He developed so many point guards for us, but I think that might be his strong suit. Like, it might be player development, and it might be just being an assistant, or go to, Bryant, go to Manhattan,
Right.
go somewhere, go to a D2 school, see how you do as a head coach. You got to have some sort of head coaching experience.
Right.
That's why, all right, Luke Murray would be maybe the only exception I would make, because this guy's been sitting behind Dan Hurley, and came up with that offensive scheme. Like, it's different, but I don't know. Just, I can't get behind that. I'll never get behind that personally.
No, he's definitely not ready for that job. I would love to have him as an assistant again, which I don't really see why he would do that at this point while he's, making waves in the NBA. But I will use this to get to my next point is whenever we do find a coach, I need our top priority to be getting a point guard, a floor general who can pass the ball, he can dribble the rock, he can go to the basket. I don't need this guy shooting threes and pulling up and jacking all over the place. I need a floor general. You know who I love is the kid Council on Kansas.
Yeah, I know.
That's a freaking floor general, man. I want someone like him.
Who, to my understanding, the Friars were in on this offseason, and I believe Kim English wanted Melvin Council to come off the bench.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I never heard that, but I did hear that we were linked to Melvin Council, and that Oswin and his agent really wanted Melvin Council, and they were kind of pushing for Kim to get him, because Oswin wanted to play with a true point guard, and Oswin did not play with a true point guard. So, yeah.
Also, Mike, you mentioned, you don't want someone who's jacking all over the place. So I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing we didn't have Avid on tonight.
Yep.
Oh shit!
No jacking all over the place.
No jacking.
Yeah, have some decency.
General. No jackers.
I was like, why are they laughing right now? I'm cooking.
No, you did cook.
You were cooking. Yeah, but
yeah, for sure.
I'll get it.
But I agree. We do need a floor general, big time.
Bad.
But yeah, we got the Big East tournament. We're going to rattle off a couple W's. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be great. The weather's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. Mac's going to be there. I think they're putting 7 guys in a hotel room. It's insane. So it's going to be nice. It'll be a fun time. A lot of fun.
We got to paint. We got to absolutely assault New York City with these stickers.
Yeah, wow, you got a lot of them, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah. I probably still have 100 left. So, I mean... Type. I think
type.
I also wanted to bring this to the pod. I think that's your new vocal stem.
Yep, correct.
That's
My girlfriend despises it.
Really?
Type.
Mine is slowly becoming Friar, but unironically. I'll just be like, oh, Friar.
All right, Friar. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of saying type shit, I'm just like Friar.
Friar.
All right, what are you guys' predictions real quick before we head out for the Big East tournament?
I don't know if we win or lose, but I think Butler PC Part 3, we get another thriller. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I think PC is going to end up winning that first game. He's gonna want to get at least one. I think they win that first game, and then we play St. John's, and God only knows what's going to happen in that game. It's almost meant to be for us to play against them one more time at MSG. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to you guys having a good time. It's been a long season. You guys got a good group going out there. So I hope you guys have fun. If you hit any of the spots on the list, let me know. I want to hear what you think. But no matter what, it's New York City. You guys are going to have a good time.
Definitely. I got the Friars winning the first one and losing to St. John's in another close game. I think Kim English's message to these guys is: this is a showcase. You can make some money for next year if you play well.
Right.
You can maybe get me another job if you play well. So let's have fun. And let's just go out there and just go hoop.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Go Friars.
Get it.
Bring Josh Schertz home. If it's not Billy Donovan.
Friar.
Go Friars.
Go Friars.